What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. So let's get into your weekend word. So many of us desire to be owners. We want to own our own home, our own business, our own ministry, run our own school, etc. But in essence, we want to either be the head person in charge, or just run things. And that's not a bad thing. However, God evaluates our readiness for ownership based on our allegiance to Him and our faithfulness to another person. So in Luke 16 is the parable of the unrighteous steward whose master required him to give an account of his bad management practices. And as a result of potentially getting fired, the steward works out a deal with his master's money that would benefit him in the long run. He basically, those who owe money, he doesn't make them pay it all back. He gives them a credit. He cuts a deal with them. So that in the long run, just in case he gets fired, he scratched their back, they'll scratch his back. He's taken care of. And surprisingly, obviously the master's okay with that. He's okay with a little loss, not total loss, but with a little loss, because he commends the steward on his shrewd business practices. Don't get me wrong, he pulled off a good deal, but he's still considered unjust. So Jesus tells this parable, and he concludes by finally instructing the disciples in a couple of things. So the New Living Translation reads, here's the lesson. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. Then when your possessions are gone, they will welcome you to an eternal home. If you are faithful in little things, you'll be faithful in large ones. But if you're dishonest in the little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. And if you're untrustworthy about worldly wealth, who would trust you with the true riches of heaven? And if you're not faithful with other people's things, why should you be trusted with your own things? No one can serve two masters. For you will either hate one and love the other, you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. So Jesus is encouraging us in a couple of things. He's encouraging us to be generous to those who have less and to avoid the tendency to hoard and covet wealth. He hits on this principle again of being faithful and honest with the little things. Learn how to master and be responsible at the level that He currently has us at. Pace it, master that level. And then your faithfulness with those earthly possessions will determine whether you can handle the riches of heaven and then whether you can be an owner yourself. See, our ability to serve someone faithfully is precedent to our own ownership. You can try to circuit the process and ensure some unnecessary hardship or gain quick success with no longevity. But typically, the best leaders have been the best servants. Jacob served Laban, Joseph, Potiphar, Elijah, David, Saul, the apostles, Jesus. So our faithfulness to an individual, a ministry, or organization is an indicator of how well we'll do as owners. Plus, serving someone else gives us the time and the ability to gain experience without the liability or the headaches of an owner or executive. So I believe that as we serve God, by serving the one He has placed us under, two things are happening. They're getting serviced, but we're also preparing ourselves for ownership. Then once we become the owner and the roles have reversed, God is going to send us a mentee, a successor, or a staff member who will probably make similar mistakes that we made to come serve us and to be trained by us. I hope you have a great weekend.